Hello dear friends, welcome to the Erny game-changing inventory management application. Today we bring to you the gold version of our application, which of course builds on the classic and premium versions released a couple of days back. This Erny game-changing inventory management application resolves all the inefficiencies experienced with a manual inventory system, and this our gold version brings to you more interfaces that will take your business to the next level. So very quickly, we see what we have in this gold version. Today we're looking at a manufacturing company, and it's a little specific because it has raw materials, and then it has production, and then of course it has sales of finished goods, of course. And so we just dive into the various interfaces. We would have the opportunity to come back to our home page where we'll have our powerful dashboard right here. We'll revisit that in a moment. So we go to our products sheet. We already have some products already imputed just to save some time. We observe that we have raw materials, of course, and we have finished products. So let's just see how we key some of the products. So let's say we have what do we have there? We still have cornmeal, and the version of cornmeal say refined, and sure, let's say premium, who knows. And then of course let's just say a finished product. Let's just key in one finished product there. Let's say croissant, and maybe choco, and maybe premium version again of croissant. We have it right there. We return to our home page, and then now we can go to purchases to be able to buy the raw material. So we can just put today's date right there, and from the drop down menu we can pick. So we have cornmeal, which is right there, and of course cornmeal, it is purchased in bags. What quantity did we purchase? Say with 10, and it was at say 15,000 francs. So of course we have the cost of the purchase right there. So now we can issue to the factory. So we go to issuance, we issue cornmeal to the factory. So we can still put today's date there, and we can issue cornmeal to the factory. Of course, immediately we issue, we click, we choose the material. We have its measure, unit of measurement comes up automatically, and of course the purchase cost, of course. So we can now also indicate the quantity that we send to the factory. So we say we send 2 bags, and then of course we have that material cost indicated right there. So after some production, after issuance to the factory, we definitely have production. So we can come and say maybe produce not too sure, maybe croissant. Already we had croissant in as one of our products, so we just pick from there, and croissant, it is in numbers, so we have numbers right there. And how many did we produce? Produce 50 for instance, and the selling price which we are ascribing to it is 1,000 francs. And of course here we have our expected revenue when all of that will be sold. So we go back quickly, and now we can go to sales. Maybe today's date again, and what are we selling right now? Let's say we are selling some croissant. Of course, immediately we choose croissant. We have the quantity right here and the selling price right here. So we can indicate the number of croissant which we are selling. So we are saying, for instance, 50, and we have the revenue that is generated right here. And we can quickly go back to our home page, and definitely we will see what the inventory is showing at the moment. We have inventory for finished goods, and of course inventory for raw materials. So we see of course croissant has just been added here. For finished goods we produce 50, we have sold 40, and this is the volume of the sales in terms of the currency, and this is a sales velocity 80%. That is good, and we have 10 left in stock. We observe that there are some items that are highlighted red. It shows that any inventory item that is below 10% it has that highlight to draw the attention of management that we need to do some restocking. Of course, that's a dynamic element that we can always modify with respect to your business. And definitely we have this average selling price here, which can give us the value of what we have in stock. And let's just see again our raw material inventory right here. We saw we had cornmeal and in bags. We bought 10 bags, we issued 2 to the factory, and we have 8 bags left, and the average cost was this, and this is our raw material value for cornmeal. Right here we have a total raw material value, inventory value right here, and this way we have our finished goods inventory value. So we can go back to our home page, and of course maybe we have an expense. So let's just say we incurred an expense today. And what was the expense? It is say payment of say insurance, and the big category is insurance. And how much did we pay? So let's say we pay 50,000 right there. So immediately we indicate the big category right here. We have a summary, so it picks from in here, and we have this summary right here. So on this cell here, we have a total outflow, which of course includes costs for purchases, and then right here we have just expenses that go into the P&L, which are the total outflow less purchase cost. And we can go back to our home page, and then of course here we just have a list of products, list of raw materials and list of finished goods right there, auto-populated just like an inventory sheet like we indicated. And then we can now come to reports. So on our reports interface, the only thing we key here is just to choose the dates. So for instance, we can take January 2024, so you take the month and the year, which of course you pick from our drop down. So this is January 2027. We observe that everything is blank in it because nothing has been imputed. So we come back to January 24, and we pick say maybe February, and let's see a few things. So immediately you select the date. You have here the start date, the end date, the number of days of that month, the number of Saturdays and number of Sundays. That is important for business decision making. So since we have data imputed for November, so let's see what November shows for us. So November, so we have 1st of November, 31st of November as start and end date. Of course, we have 30 days in the month of November, and the total number of Saturdays this November are 5, and the total number of Sundays are 4. And right here we have our highest sale for the day, that indicated here. We have our lowest sale for the day. Of course, we had some days that we have not sold, and we have our average sales for the month, and we have the highest purchases for the day, and of course we have our highest expense for a day. And of course we have this way you have the details per day, where we have raw materials, issuance, expected production revenue, purchases, sales, and of course expenses. So if we go back to our home page and we go to purchases, we observe that we had purchases on the 1st, 5th, 7th, and let's just go back to our report. Of course, we see 1st, 5th, and 7th. We have elements of purchases right there. And of course, we continue downwards. We'll see raw materials that were issued to the factory. We go down again, we'll see sales that were affected, and of course expenses right there. And right here we can see a graphical representation of what our sales is showing us. So we can see we have a day where we have made 105,000 francs sale, and this is around the 24th, 25th. Let's just quickly look at that. Of course, 25th, that's the day of our highest sale, which we can of course see it right here. So that's the reports template interface, which of course is an innovation from the previous versions. So in a nutshell, that's what we have for you. And of course, our powerful executive summary that we have right here, which gives us a total total purchases, our raw material balance, our total revenue, our material cost, our total expenses, and right now we're doing a small loss because we've produced but we've not yet sold. And of course we have our goods inventory and the number of products which we are dealing in. So we look at our dashboard, what is looking like. So we see we have our expense composition right here. So we can know which expense is driving our business. We see transport on 13%, rents 27%, and insurance that we just paid today is already consuming 13% of our expenses. Right here we have our top selling products. We can see that cakes, they are doing very well right down there with a long bar. We also have bread that is doing well. For our material usage, we have sugar that is huge in terms of material consumption, and of course cornmeal. And this way we have our top inventory, material inventory elements. We have flavor vanilla, which is huge. We have a high stock for that element, followed by sugar granulated, and at the bottom, lowest selling products, we see cookies are not doing so well, so that gives us an idea on where to focus our energy. Lowest material usage elements, we have milk and salt that we are not using them so much. That also guides us in terms of how we manage our stock. And of course, this last element are top sales velocity products. We have cakes that do not stay in our shelves. Immediately they are produced, they go out. We have equally desserts, bread, and croissant. So those are elements that they have a high sales turnover. So that's a gold version that we have for you. Thank you very much, of course, and our contacts are always right here if you want to do business with us. Thank you so much, and God bless you.